We have a new guest joining us in the studio today, Chief Executive Officer Bruce Udell of Udell Associates. And he's here to talk about how to prepare financially to age gracefully. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Nancy.
We had your son on earlier,
right.
And I was looking forward to meeting you and
right.
having you on the show.
Likewise. Thank
now,
you.
I know you're also the founder of Udell Associates.
Right.
And obviously, there's something that sets you apart because you have been established for a number of years here in the community.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Can you tell our viewers what makes you different than other firms?
Sure. So everything we do at Udell Associates for our clients begins with a commitment to help people get more enjoyment from their wealth. No matter what that wealth happens to be, how much that wealth happens to be. So most families today recognize the need for financial planning. They just dread the process.
Right.
So, you know, what happens is they find that some of the issues kind of dreary and some of the solutions are complicated and hard to understand, and then they're explained to them using spreadsheets and sometimes complex jargon, right? So what we do is that's right. So we have three words that really define what we do, and that is simplicity, prosperity, and confidence. So if you want to know if you're really enjoying your wealth, ask yourself three questions. Am I better informed today than I used to be? And do I feel more prosperous? And do I have confidence about my future?
Okay. Now, what if you struggle with those questions? How do you help them?
Well, the way we would help them, for example, feel more prosperous, one of the things we figured out is that people who have substantial wealth even don't necessarily feel prosperous. When people are living a lot longer today, so when people get to retirement, a lot of people worry about running out of money, right? Baby boomers see their parents living to their 90s. Right. As my son Jeremy said on a prior segment, you then have long-term care.
Right.
And so when they get to retirement, they can't earn money anymore. They have to live off that nest egg. And what they tend to do, Nancy, is they circle the wagons around their wealth. You know, if you remember the old cowboy pictures, I'm old enough to remember those old cowboy and Indian pictures when the cowboys circled the wagons.
Absolutely.
So what happened to the progress towards their destination when they did that? It stopped, right?
Yes.
So what prevents people from really enjoying their wealth is they circle the wagons at retirement, and that kind of stops progress towards their other goals, like maybe they want to give money to their children, or they want to buy a vacation home, or they want to take a long trip, right? But they don't. Why? Because they're afraid if they spend that money, they won't have enough to support their own lifestyle for the rest of their life.
So how do you help them overcome those obstacles and learn how to enjoy themselves while they're living?
The first thing that people have to do to really enjoy their wealth is they have to figure out how much their lifestyle expenses are. How much money do they need to enjoy life the way they want to? And
on a monthly basis?
On a monthly, exactly, on a monthly basis. And you know, Nancy, people don't really have pensions anymore. Companies start providing pensions. It was really neat when you had a paycheck coming in and Social Security and came in every month, right? But people don't have that anymore. So a number of studies were done actually by the Wharton School, the University of Pennsylvania, and Yale, and Harvard, and Carnegie Mellon, and they all said that what you really ought to do is you ought to purchase an income contract that promises you an income every single month for the rest of your life that's large enough to cover those lifestyle expenses.
And is that based on your assets?
Based on your age, actually.
Based on your age.
So you figure out, here's how much money I need to really live the way I want. If I were to go to an insurance company and purchase what's called an income contract, which would promise me an income the rest of my life, how much would it cost? How much of my assets would it take to buy that? But I would no longer have to worry about running out of money, right? Especially if I provided for inflation. And the excess assets then would be my fund money. I can use that to purchase the vacation home, to give money to my kids, maybe to make a gift to charity, those kinds of things.
Now, I know we talked earlier, and you wanted to share a story that you thought would be quite relevant to this. Can you do that for
Yes. So I had a husband and wife come into my office, and they'd already left their kids as much money as they wanted to leave them. And their issues were they wanted to start living a little bit better with their money, raise their lifestyle, and they wanted to give more money to charity. So what we did is we instituted a charitable gift annuity for them, which promises them an income for the rest of their life and sets up a fund for them at a charity. And then they purchased a income contract from a life insurance company that guaranteed them an income for the rest of their life. And that, together with the income they already had coming in, was more than they needed to cover their lifestyle expenses. And they still had money left over. And what was really neat about that is I ran into them at a social event. And they came up to me and said, "Bruce, thank you so much for what you did." I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well, we just took a cruise to Southeast Asia, and we upgraded our cabin to the highest level, and for the first time in our lives, we flew first class." And you know what?
And they'll do it again.
And they'll do it again. They said that. We're going to do that again because we can't spend all the money we have coming in now. And then, Nancy, I ran into a development officer from a local charity, and they came up to me and said, "Bruce, what did you do for this couple? They said you did the financial plan." And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well, they used to give us a few $100s, you know, every year. Now they're giving us $5,000 this year. They're going to give us $10,000 next year. They are going to be a VIP of ours, invited to all of our events. What happened?" So I just kind of explained that, and they said they are so happy. And so that's the difference. That's how, you know, you can really enjoy your money. You can age gracefully, do all the things you want to do, give money to your kids, your grandkids, and still not worry about running out of money the rest of your life.
Well, and those are two stories that you heard, and I'm sure you have a lot more from people that have helped, that you've helped and haven't been able to say thank you to you.
Yeah, no question.
But
and we really appreciate our clients. Every story is a little bit different. It really doesn't matter how much wealth you have. You still have that issue, right? Even people with substantial assets, Nancy, who feel that they have more money than they can ever spend, still aren't enjoying it to the fullest. And the reason is they don't know that point at which, if they give money away, where do they reach that point where they no longer have more money than they'll ever
and they're afraid that they might. But so they're going to come and talk to you about that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I know we're going to see you again.
Yes.
So I look forward to it.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you for tuning in to Aging Gracefully on Suncoast FYI. To find previous episodes, go to snnTV.com under programming. See you next Saturday and Sunday at noon.